Well, it's kind of a long time since the last garden update, but this used to be the garlic patch, which is now temporary flower storage. We're having some other work done around the house that required some plants to be moved. The garlic was a flop. I had changed all the soil to like fresh soil, hoping that I would get nice big heads of garlic. I used some new garlic from a friend's farm that was really nice bulbs, but I didn't go deep enough. It looks like I didn't have good enough drainage. Basically, it kind of looks like all the garlic rotted, too much moisture. So I'm gonna have to dig this all up again and make sure that there isn't like a big clay bed underneath that I didn't quite realize. Most of my ground here is fairly hard clay, so yeah, water runoff was an issue for the garlic, and that was basically a failure this year. So I had I think maybe 3 heads of garlic that I can actually use to plant next year, but I'll have to get some fresh ones for planting next month, or October, end of October, and try recover the garlic situation for next year. Because normally I had like 110 garlic plants per year, which is what we consume as a family. And I have here, I think I'm protecting it because I think it's an Eastern Redbud seedling, which is great because my Eastern Redbud, you can see it over there, is dead. So hopefully that's a seedling that I'll be able to transplant. So here we just got a bunch of succulents, hostas, various things that we're going to plant in the front of the house. This guy here, I'm letting him ripen up so I can get some seeds for next year. Because I'm going to try to get to the point where I don't have to buy any seeds. I just want to keep on reusing the ones for my garden. So I already do that for the sweet peppers, which you see here. So these are all from, I think, 2 years ago. I've been keeping the seeds. So they were green, they're yellow now, and they're just starting to get a little bit of color. So we should be having a fairly hot week here, about 28, 30 degrees for a few days. So that should hopefully help ripen all these babies up. There's a couple of flowers. I should pick those so the plant doesn't waste any energy on those ones because they won't have time to ripen. But yeah, looks like we'll have a good patch of sweet peppers. Hot peppers coming along pretty good. I tried one, it was very spicy, so some green ones that we might not have enough time in the season to ripen up, but hopefully the hot spell carries on a little bit longer than projected, because we are basically Labor Day weekend here, September, start of September, so it can go either way. Cucumbers are all done, dried up. There was one cucumber plant that my wife got that I didn't save one for seeds, which is unfortunate. I'll have to try to find it again next year. It was called the Diva cucumber. I'll have to look that one up. But they were really nice cucumbers. The skin was really thin and tasty. This is just the regular small pickling cucumbers. I got some carrots. We'll see how those guys go. I planted them a little bit late, but they should do fine. And actually, you know what? This is the Trinidadian scorpion, which I've never had luck with. We got one. Something's growing finally. Kept on getting full. There's another one in there. Where is he? I thought I saw another one. Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah, so these are supposed to be Trinidadian scorpion, but I've always had flowers but never actually had fruit growing, so that's awesome. At least if I get 2, and I can save the seeds, and hopefully next year will be better. I didn't do a good job of pruning this one, so it's fairly leafy. But anyway, it is what it is. I've been away from the house too much this summer, so gardening does take a lot of time, and you can see the disaster that is my garden. We got some arugula here. And so this is the arugula that on earlier this week. I posted a little short video of pizza in a wood-fired clay oven at my friend's farm. And actually what I used for that was the arugula, tomatoes, and the broccolini. So this is the broccolini, which is now gone to flower. And you can see the bees are loving it. Lots of bee activity. This is awesome. Wow, they're loving this stuff. Yeah, lots of honeybees. That's awesome. That's always good to see. I'm done with it, so they can have it now. But yeah, I was just picking some of these shoots are still pretty good. So I just picked a bunch of these little shoots and threw them on top of the pizza with the arugula. It was yummy. So my tomatoes were a failure this year. So if you recall in my first video, I think, I mentioned that my mother ended up getting a bunch of seed going and gave me, I think I had like 20 odd plants. And it's like, well, what do I do with them? So I just like planted them really tight, which was a big no-no because they all ended up diseased. We had too much changeable weather where it was like really humid for a long time, then it was really dry for a long time, and then I wasn't home to basically take care and manage things. So I think there was just not enough airflow between the plants, and they all got a disease and got the end rot, and also the stems as well got the fungus on them. So there's still some that I can we're gonna harvest, so we'll still have some tomatoes, but overall tomatoes was a failure this year. It's a nice looking guy. I mean, the ones that I've picked have been pretty tasty, but yeah, not the best tomato season. Oh yeah, this is the other thing. So zucchini, my zucchini seeds disappeared from my starter pots, so then I had to start again. So they're very late planting. I'm hoping to actually get, there's 1 or 2 zucchinis we'll probably get before the season's done, but hopefully they'll come out okay. So this one actually didn't think it would survive, but I transplanted this one from my lawn because apparently the zucchini seeds disappeared because the squirrels pulled them out of my little starting pots and transplanted them. I don't know if you can see. There's a zucchini plant in the middle of my construction yard. So I transplanted the other one from there to see if it would take, and it did take. Beans I haven't harvested in a while. I've actually, oddly enough, look at the size of these guys. That's not going to be tasty anymore, I don't think. I might just use it for seeds. But this is the first time I've ever had beans. Look at all that. Holy smokes. I've never actually had bean plants give me like multiple harvests, which this is the first time. So I don't know whether, I'll have to read up on it to see if I just keep on picking the beans really quickly, whether the plant will just keep on producing. Because I did a harvest and I thought that was it, and then more flowers showed up. So yeah, look at that. I haven't actually checked this in a couple of weeks. So yeah, that's a pretty good haul. Hopefully some of those will still be tasty. Yeah, that's awesome. Sugar snaps, again, haven't been harvesting the sugar snaps since I've been away from the house. Those guys are pretty much done as well. Leaf lettuce, they were looking pretty good, but then again, they need water, and we've been in a bit of a dry spell, so they're failing. I might be able to get some heads of lettuce out of it, or partial heads, but we'll see what we get. This is going to be good. Hopefully this is a good sign that we'll have some squash. Yeah, there's a squash. Just one. Hopefully we'll have more than just one. There's another one. 2. Should have planted more. Oh well, next year I'll plant some more squash, because that's always an easy one to store and use for soups. Yeah, that's disappointing. Only 2. All right, well, there you go. That's where we are with the garden right now. Not the best year, but a couple of good things. We did get a decent amount of pickles, or cucumbers, I mean, so that wasn't too bad. Actually, let's go check out what the asparagus is doing. My neighbor's cutting his grass. Some cherry tomatoes. Yeah, these guys are jumping around from hot to cold. You always got to be careful. You don't want to eat those ones when they have any darkness to them. Will give you a bit of an upset stomach, if not worse. Yeah, there's not too many. A lot of them have been cracked. So I'll try there's one. Yummy. Asparagus patch. Looking good. I had a bout of asparagus beetles that I blasted with neem oil. A little neem oil to soap and water. Looks like it did help. What the heck is that? Look at that. Something's been, what the hell? I've never seen that before. That's a weird asparagus fern. So I got some new roots started here. New crowns started. Yes, these ones are looking good. So 2025, I'll have a couple more. Oh, this one shooting up pretty good. Good. So just trying to expand the patch a little bit. These crowns are probably 20 odd years old, I think. So they were kind of mature when we moved in, which was 11 years ago. I think we're gonna have a good horseradish crop as well. We'll see how that goes. Black raspberries not looking happy. Too much construction work. So we'll see how those come up next year, since I transplanted them in June, I think it was, which was the worst time to do it in the heat and not being around to keep things watered. We'll see how that goes. I'm glad to see that my little oak tree is surviving. So I've been keeping that guy since a little sapling. Yeah, so we're making some progress, some failures. The sugar maple forest is coming along for my retirement maple syrup making. Yeah, nice little tree canopies coming along. Looking forward to when these guys are all bigger. All right, we'll leave it there. For the I'll do one more end of season garden update, I guess. And then next year we'll do better.